Hey, what's up, guys? I decided to make another video, this time on Dexter New Blood. So, I said I was gonna make another video, and I just finished watching the show again about like 10 minutes ago, some shit like that. And I'm mixed on it. I'm very mixed on it. I'm not certain really how I feel about it. On one hand, I kind of like it, but on the other hand, it messes with the original show. What I mean by that is Dexter specifically, right? He realizes kind of like he didn't have to be a killer, and if he got help, and you know, Harry raised him wrong, kind of, and all this shit, right? And how he didn't want that for his son, and all that shit. He didn't want that darkness, and I thought that was really good. I liked him kind of getting not redemption, but like realizing he doesn't have to be a killer. He can do this. He can, you know, he can control himself basically. And the show kind of goes against that, where yes, he doesn't kill for 10 years, almost 10 years, whatever how long it is. But uh I don't know, I'm just really mixed on it. And the way that it ended was good in a way, but also like I heard people didn't like it. I kind of did, kind of didn't. Like I said, right, so I prefer the ending where Dexter realizes he doesn't have to be a killer and, starts a new life. That's cool. I like that. The way it was done, handled wasn't the best. Like it was still sad because, he thinks he can't be with anyone because he'll destroy them. And well, this show basically proves him right in a way. Like, I guess you're supposed to feel like, oh yeah, that's why he left, but damn, did that shit kind of hurt. Like, the show was pretty good. I think Harrison, the guy who played Harrison, was very good. Jack Alcott, I think it is. Very good. I really liked him. Michael C. Hall's also very good. At some like when I first started watching, I'm like, damn, this guy's way older. But as it came on, I'm like, damn, he really doesn't look that much older. But the other cast of characters, the villain Clancy Brown, very good, very good. I enjoyed him quite a bit. I love like the whole serial killer origins and shit like that. It's interesting, but just but what I didn't like is going back to why I'm kind of mixed on the show is him and Harrison, right? Now I like him kind of opening up to Harrison and telling him, I killed people, I did this, I did that, right? But when he starts kind of being like, "Oh, work together, whatever," da 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 da, that felt extremely unnatural to me because that is literally the last thing he wanted. He said, "I don't want that darkness in him, whatever." And even if he had it, he didn't go down the path of no return like Dexter did. As soon as he killed somebody, basically, it's over for him. Like a regular sense where he can he can't completely get help anymore without going to jail, all this shit, right? But Harrison is not in that camp. And for him to just kind of be like, oh, join me, like some come to the dark side type shit, it felt very, very kind of off and made Dexter the monster that he always thought he was. Especially that ending where towards the end where I was just like, there's no way he comes back from this, where he kills Coach, I forget his name, like because that was an innocent guy, like a nice guy who didn't really do anything. And I thought at first it was gonna be one of those imagination things like that Dexter has, where he imagines like that time he finds out Miguel lied to him, so he throws the chair through the window and he starts screaming and stuff. And then it turns out that was all in his head. I really thought that's what it was gonna be because Dexter hasn't really killed an innocent person. He killed that photographer, but the photographer really, like, yeah, he wasn't like the evil guy, but he wasn't a good guy, right? So it still wasn't good, but this guy was like completely innocent and a very good guy. And I don't know, I didn't really think Dexter had to kill him and had to kind of escape in the first place. Like I feel like he could have gotten out of it, maybe because of Angel. I don't know, Angel coming down. But throughout the original show and Dexter New Blood, for a good majority, I'm sitting here like, I still don't want Dexter to be caught. With the woman, I'm already forgetting her name, but his girlfriend. I'm like, fuck you. I don't want you to catch him. Like, and especially towards the end, I was like, there's no way this ends well. Like, I knew the ending. I actually got spoiled for the ending, so I knew it, and I thought it was gonna be way worse than it was. Like, but I did kind of like it. I feel like it upsets me, like the end of Dexter, where I really like the idea where he realizes he's not a monster. He doesn't have to be a monster. He doesn't have to kill. You know, with Harry saying it got into you too early, you can never get rid of it, whatever. That's not true. So with him, pushing Harrison to be this father son duo, killing people and shit, is just felt extremely off to me from the beginning. And you feel that. You feel like, you see Harrison not completely, he doesn't have that darkness in him that Dexter has, like, as much. So it was just interesting, and I just felt like Dexter really was like lost his way, I guess, basically. And I like the letter at the end where he's saying, I can't be in his life. Let Dexter be dead to save my son from me. Let me be dead, basically. I thought that letter was really good. The music slapped when they were doing that too, and Harrison's driving through the streets, so that was good, right? And that kind of set things up where it felt more connected, where it was like that's what he thought was gonna happen, I guess. But when you finish the show, you really see, like, especially Deb, right? She's like, you don't have to do this. You're not a monster. Forgive you, whatever. I love you. And then she dies, so Dexter feels like, oh, it was my fault, da 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 da. And in that way, Dexter, Deb wanted Dexter to be happy, to move on, to have a good life, and basically stop killing, I guess. So for him to take it as like, I destroy everything I touch, I have to be away from them, that fits. Like, I understand that, but he wasn't in that way. He made some fucking stupid mistakes, and he definitely got Rita killed. Like that, it's not even like a question, and that's fucked up. Also, by the way, we saw John Lithgow in New Blood, and it's like he looks older. Like, it was fucking. I know, but people get older, whatever. But it was weird, and it was confirmed to me that he was butt ass naked in the in the cell with Rita, which I don't know. That already like fucking like thinking about how Rita went out is like upsetting. But so I just thought that. But I did enjoy. You see him kind of going further and further off the edge, where he starts off and you're like, he's muted, whatever. He kills that guy. I didn't really give a shit. Guy was a piece of shit, but he didn't need to. I guess like that's kind of what I'm saying. And then he kills the drug dealer by making him OD. The best one was Clancy Brown. Like, definitely him. Him kind of manipulating his son and trying to get him kidnapped and stuff, and kill him. That was so cool. With Dexter like running through the woods like from gunshots and stuff. I just thought that was pretty good, right? So with all that, I enjoyed it. Like I said, but that I feel like just him kind of going through and just him, like I said, just him trying to like mold Harrison into another killer like him so he can connect to him felt felt pretty, like, I mean, I guess it could happen, but it also just was sad because he can be better. He can be more. He is a person. He's not just a monster, like he has feelings, he has all this stuff, he thinks he doesn't have. And so it is sad to see him go down that road. I mean, I guess really thinking about it, it could happen, but it's not what the entire show sets you up to believe, I think, in the original, where it's like he becomes more human, and it's just sad. And but him, killing Coach was the moment of like no return. I'm like, now it's like you're wanted for life, basically. I don't know how the fuck they're gonna get away from that. They're wanted from life for life. He, escapes prison, does this shit. Angel's called in, so it seems like it's kind of over for him. I wanted Dexter to be free. I really did. I like Dexter. He's done some fucked up shit, but he is, I like him. He's a likable character, funny, and you just don't want to see, like, even if he's in the wrong, you don't want to see him go to jail. So that was like, just it was annoying me up until that end point where he kills Coach. I keep mentioning that because that was like a big moment for me, where I'm sitting here and I'm like, Dexter just killed this innocent fucking guy. Like, yes, he reached for the gun, but like, you didn't need to do this in the first place. Like, you could have just sat in jail. I feel like you would have gotten out. Like, what would they have really done? Or there was like another way or something. It did feel off, and him getting more and more, I don't know, aggressive, kind of like losing it, which he does in the original show too, which I find interesting. Like when he's tracking down a serial killer and somebody will call and he has to do all this different shit, and he's juggling it. He starts to kind of like get really pissed off and lose it. I found that was like interesting, but here it was just like more sad. And I knew, like I said, I knew spoilers that Harrison shot him and that people didn't really like this ending. And watching it, I really felt like he just kind of realized he was a monster and shot him. But Dexter was the one who's like, you're right. I don't want this for you, which is what he should have been like in the first place. So just this is the only way it'll end. Shoot me right here. And Harrison does it and he gets away. And I'm glad about that. Like I said, I really like Dexter. I like Dexter Original Sin, I think, a lot more, and that's more like the original show. But this was still pretty good, like I said. But just that whole like Dexter becomes a real monster in this, I think, in a way he hasn't before. Like I feel like, you know, he was worried he would mess him up, but he would have known better. He was good with Harrison, and he can control himself. I know he could like eventually stop killing whatever. It's just he never got any help. So that's kind of the main thing, right? He's not a sociopath, psychopath. Like he cares about people. He just doesn't understand his feelings. So for him to like go past the point of like just killing innocent people, trying to convince Harrison to kill other people with him, join him, whatever, and that he's like a vigilante, like hero, and then Harrison's like, you don't even really care that it's not about saving people, is it? It's like, yeah, no, it's not, but um, yeah, so that shit just hit hard, and then like I said, him shooting Dexter, it was. I can see why people didn't like it, and I'm a bit mixed. Just because like I said, the difference between the original show. I just wanted him to become, human and gotta stop killing, and instead this made him come back and become a monster. But so I just don't know where Dexter Resurrection's gonna go. Like, how the fuck is he? Is he gonna be on the run the whole time? Because he did kill that fucking guard. Like, there's no, like, there's plausible deniability with the whole fucking, um, what's the name? With the whole, Clancy Brown's son, whatever. There's plausible deniability in that. And maybe, he still could have got off the Bay Harbor Butcher stuff because they didn't really have anything conclusive. But, once you do that, and they already know who you are, it's not just a face, they know you are Dexter Morgan. Where do you really go from there? But I'm excited to see it. Hopefully it's good. I really like Harrison, so I'm glad to see more. I hopefully see more of him, and I really don't want him to go down the path that Dexter went down, especially if it's going down like New Blood, right? And Dexter never wanted that. It kind of reminds me of Red Dead Redemption, right? With Arthur Morgan and then John and his son, which I'm forgetting his fucking name. how they all go down the path of revenge, even though each of them doesn't want them to. So it just reminded me of that, but otherwise, I did enjoy it. I kind of want to know what you think. Like, what do you think of that? Do you prefer the ending of the original Dexter or Dexter New Blood? Like I said, I was enjoying it. Like the first lot, like episodes, I was enjoying it, and it felt like a continuation, kind of. But Dexter just started like I guess losing it more and more and becoming more of a monster. I keep repeating myself, but that's basically it. Like he just gets worse and worse. Killing people he doesn't have to, doing all this shit. um, you know, Basically just looking for an excuse. But I'm glad Harrison, isn't as doesn't have that darkness inside him. Not completely. He's not a. He doesn't have to kill people. He's messed up, but he can still get help, like something like that. And so I'm excited about that. But I'll see. Hopefully Resurrection is good. Uh, I don't know. It's interesting, and I'm really interested to see where it goes. And I'll watch Dexter Original Sin, see what's going on with the Resurrection. I'm a little mixed on it now because of what happened, but hopefully it can hit the original Dexter show. If it can be like Dexter Original Sin is the one that kind of completely hits. Like if you like the original Dexter show, it's so good. I really like that. And Dexter New Blood is kind of like I don't know. It's new, but it has some similar shit. But yeah. Anyway, just keep repeating myself. But I really like him. Kind of in shock of what happened. Just I don't know. It hit hard, and that music fucking slapped. Like I said. And at the end, with the cop, I was like, I fucking hated her. Like towards the towards the end, where I'm like, oh fuck you, like you're arresting Dexter, da 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 da, and Dexter did it, but still. And then she helps Harrison and she lets him go, gives him some money. So at that point, I was like, okay. But otherwise, yeah. So let me know what you think. That's about it. I don't know what video is gonna come up next, but probably not Dexter, not for a little while at least till Resurrection comes out. But that's about it. Peace.